Are they
I want more juicy ones.
You get respectful DMs from men.
Yeah,
I think respectful and DM and men is a sentence I've never heard once in my life ever work together.
I know.
It's a bit creepy sometimes, isn't it?
What? The DMs?
But I think if you're a woman on social media that's putting yourself out there, you're kind of like, I don't know, you're kind of, I kind of feel for you sometimes because you're getting the guy who hates his life abusing you. Do you know?
Oh God, I haven't got too much abuse.
Have you ever got much abuse?
No, God, no. Like that's what I'm saying. Getting nice, respectful. Like I get people like they're like I think they think we're friends.
Yeah.
Which sometimes worries me because I'm like, oh God, like I'm responding because it's like a kind of like a brand and a business.
I'm responding because I'm bored.
I just feel sorry for people. And then
I don't. I think it's really.
And someone's like, "Why haven't you followed me back yet?" I was like, "Well, we're not mates.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to pursue something here."
Well, I'm very strict on who I follow online. I actually was going to go down the Liam Gallagher route and just follow zero.
Oh yeah, like that's
purely,
like when
purely
you think,
because it was taking up too much time.
What was?
Scrolling.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, because my family will get upset then.
Yeah, for sure.
So what I do is I tend not to look at it as much, and it's not because I dislike the people I follow. It's just
you just
a bit
don't
like,
care.
It's not that I don't care. Jesus, Anna, it's not that I don't care. It's just that there's other things that we can look at, like golf shots or women in the gym.
That's what when you scroll, you just see golf shots and women in the gym.
It's literally golf shots, women in the gym, and women hitting golf shots.
Oh my God, I love this because I was wondering what people's algorithm was, and mine is puppies and pasta.
Do you want to have a look at my algorithm here now? Now, did you see this thing on TikTok where they had a girl grabs her boyfriend's phone?
Oh yeah, and
he
it was
says,
like if you got 10
you got 10 scrolls, and if no woman appears within the 10 scrolls, we're gonna whatever tonight, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the guy who's like, and it gets to like 4 scrolls, and it's just women in bikinis and all this kind of stuff. Right, so
I think he got to like 9, and then it was one girl like bending over in the gym, and he was like, "That doesn't count. That's like workout stuff."
Yeah, there's mine there. Look, so you tell them what's on my algorithm.
Okay, you've got. Is that David Goggins? And
so we've got a guy on a treadmill
and football.
Guy on a treadmill, football.
And
a woman doing legs and cores because I'm doing a gym at the moment.
A woman in a bikini, a woman with a microphone.
Guy photographed at a graveyard. Okay, that shows you some darker sides.
Autistic hygiene.
Sports singer or something like that. Woman at a stadium.
With large.
Food, large breast. I'm not in control of what she posts. Like I just follow it.
Or her tits, but
what else have we got? Autism.
everyone's algorithm has autism at this stage, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all wondering if we're on the spectrum.
It's a lot of because I've been going to the gym a bit, so I'm looking at. I say gym, I'm working out at home, so I'm looking
at a nice mix. I think
I've got a nice mix.
Yeah.
I ain't no creep.
You lots of girls there anyway.
But that's just pot luck.
That's just the way it goes.
In 5 minutes' time, man, someone else would have looked at, and it would have been all blokes naked. So, anyway. Anna Clifford is with me in the podcast this week. Cork in the North. Anna, thanks very much for popping in. Anna's a stand-up comedian from Dublin. How's it going? What's the story? I'll never be able to afford to buy a house. She lived in London. Came back to Ireland. You're doing a show here in Belfast on the 22nd.
The 22nd of February.
And it's called
I See Dead People,
which I've read a little bit about, and I want to ask you about a few things that happened in your life. But Anna's a comedian from Dublin, and we've worked together quite a few times in London. Maybe cross paths in London a few times.
Here in
Where
Dublin,
did you live? So the mad thing about it is that there's a lot of Irish in London do comedy. Yeah,
there's too many to be honest.
Too many,
You're not a novelty.
There's a lot of us, and we tend not to work together too much because the bookings, they don't put a lot of Irish on together.
Like it can't be an Irish night.
They was like, oh, we've got the Irish person, we've got the English person, we've got the other person. You know what I mean? They're kind of ticking boxes.
Diversity for sure.
So the only times we might see each other, we'll probably be at Irish festivals. So we have to leave London to meet in Ireland. Now, when did you move to London?
I moved to London, like 5 years ago now.
So you moved 2018.
I was there for 3 years before the pandemic.
Right, so you 3 years. And when you went over, were you going over as a presenter, a stand-up, an actress? What was your...
Oh, God, I was just heartbroken and needed to leave the country. It was
Oh, you'd broken up with someone?
I think, no, it was just a bit of that, like a bit like stuck. And I'd moved back from Vancouver, Canada, and I was in Dublin for 6 months, and I was kind of like, I can't be here. Like, I just can't be here. You know, it was like the shock. Have you ever moved?
How long were you in Vancouver
city?
for?
I thought, what? 2.5 years.
Or were you with someone in Vancouver?
I was with someone in Vancouver, yeah.
Okay, and that didn't work out.
That didn't work out. He wouldn't like come back with me.
Or
Do
was
you know
he
what
Irish?
I mean? No, Newcastle.
Canadian. England?
Newcastle, can you imagine?
England?
Yeah. Oh, you're thinking Newcastle here.
Well, it's Newcastle County
Yeah,
Down.
yeah.
I was like, Newcastle County Down?
No, he's like one of the highway.
Oh, yeah, and I was going.
Yeah.
I see dead people. I'm not marrying you. So you,
What?
I'm not marrying you. So that broke up. Oh, that's sad. Okay.
Yeah, so I think I was just like, fuck. And then when you landed back at home.
But you didn't want to break. You didn't want to end it.
Oh,
like.
not at the time, no.
You were
now I'm like, Jesus, thank God.
You see the flags now.
Perspective is
Red
a
flags
good thing,
now.
isn't it? Oh, God.
When you look
waving.
back,
Hell, hey, man. Canny.
I'm a walking red flag anyway. But like, do you ever look? I've seen that as well in a couple of situations that I've had.
Yeah.
And I look back and I go, the mother was right.
Oh, yeah.
Mothers have a great sense.
Oh, do you? Oh, I think that's
my-
a mum and a son thing.
My mother used to have a great sense. of,
Yeah.
you know, if
well,
I
it's
ever,
not for you.
and they look at you and they'd be like, yeah,
We're worried.
oh, she's lovely. Yeah. But you know.
Yeah.
So when you look back at it, give me an example of a red flag that you ignored or you didn't see at the time. I love this. I love these red flags,
What's
mate.
it? Like maybe taking my credit card and just leaving me on a night out.
Hold on a second. So you go on a night out in Vancouver.
Yeah.
He took your credit
And I was
card.
like, I need to go get something. Took my credit card, and then I didn't see him for the rest of the night.
What did he do? What was he doing? Drugs?
Yeah, it was a massive baghead as well, so doesn't help, does it?
Well, those things are never going to end well.
That's the white flag they're waving at me.
Yeah, exactly. And the red flag is the blood coming from their nose.
Yeah.
I also think, the trust is gone.
Yeah, that and God, just
But you're in a better place now.
no, not really.
Okay, lovely. Okay, welcome to the Cork and Hour podcast, where we now Andrew's going to be a therapist for an hour.
Or no?
Okay,
no,
so
I am.
so you come back from Vancouver. Were you doing comedy in Vancouver?
That's where I started doing comedy.
Right. So you got the bug.
I got the bug. I did.
And you
It
came
is
back
a
to
bug,
the-
isn't it?
it's-
Like,
it's-
that's the
it's-
first time because I was like, I'll just do this course and I'll like
Stand-
see if I like it. And then I was like,
stand-up comedy is my longest relationship.
oh my God.
So you come back to Dublin for 6 months.
Yeah,
You're doing open spots.
I'm doing open spots. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Do you do comedy in Dublin?
Do you ever think? Yeah, what at that time?
Yeah, 6 months. In that 6 months.
Oh yeah. I like the first month I was back because I was kind of terrified because like in Vancouver you have an accent, so
You're like a little bit.
you're just gassed.
Like if I'm a 5 out of 10, I
Yeah.
go to America. I'm an 8 out of 10.
Oh, you're just, and they're like applause break when you say something so stereotypical to like Irish.
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
thing, and then
Hello there. Oh.
Yeah, and you're just like, so you think you're in Wales. So I was coming back and I was like, everyone in Ireland is hilarious. Like we're so funny as a nation, right? So I was a bit scared to be like doing it. And then I went and watched a few gigs, and when you're just like, okay, I think I can try this.
Yeah.
And then I did it. Yeah, and then I was like, gigging a good bit in Dublin before I left to go to London.
So you go to London. What was the plan in London? Why did you go to London? What brought you to? I know what brought me to the UK, but did something happen? Did you always have it in the back of your head? Were you just dull, bored, frustrated in Dublin? You thought, fuck it, I'm just going to go and try this.
Yeah, a bit of everything. I was definitely like, I think I was like, once I left Dublin, it's really good for you to like get out of your city.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I need to do that again. And my mom's from London, so I have family there.
Your mum's from London?
Yeah.
All right. So you got an English accent?
Yeah, I know.
In Hort?
I was.
Hort in Dublin?
I used to have an English accent when I was younger, and I got slagged to shit.
Oh, well, because you...
Like my brother used to beat the crap out of me for being English.
Really? So where's your mum from in England?
She's from Epping Forest, like
Essex.
Essex, yeah.
So your mum's an Essex girl? Oh,
Yeah, no, but she doesn't.
all right, and how you did? Let's get into Dunleary, mate.
Yeah.
Your dad's a fucking nonce, mate. Sorry, that's too much.
Yeah. But I'm 98% Irish, just so you know.
2% English.
Yeah,
But it's that
no.
2% you can never get over. You
It
can
is,
never get
it
over
never
that.
leaves you.
So you go to England. Where did you live when you went over?
In Broccoli.
Oh, southeast
Yeah,
London.
nobody knows Broccoli.
And that's like, that's
Southeast,
overground.
beside Peckham,
That's
kinda.
overground.
Yeah.
You're not
that's
even on
my-
tube
that's
there.
a nice, but that is a nice overground.
It's a nice overground, yeah.
form of transport.
What were you working as?
I started working there in customer service for a fashion company. I was
Okay.
gas. I mean, customer service is the worst job in the world, but
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't think. Do you ever have like these awful jobs?
Oh, I've done
that
them.
you have the best crack in.
But you're a comedian,
like the best crack, because you have to. You're so miserable, and everyone around you is so miserable that you have to like. So I was like, God, I sometimes sit when I'm like working on myself, not on myself, by myself here in Dublin. I'm like, God, you missed the crack of like having a shit job.
Yeah. And tell me, when you were how did you get onto the scene in London then?
Oh yeah, then I moved over and I was like, just started doing like all the gigs I could and like messaging any Irish people that I knew over there and asking them for help. And yeah, like I didn't do them for too long, but like, bring your gigs.
Never did one.
Oh God, I actually feel like getting sick thinking about them.
Yeah.
Like you have to bring someone to a gig. Like,
so explain to the audience what a bringer gig is.
Bringer gig, and I'm so
this
glad.
only happens in London, by the way.
It only happens in London, and it should not happen anywhere. I think they're awful. And it's a bringer gig. Is like someone's running a night, and you get put on to do 5 minutes, but you have to bring someone to be in the audience with you, and they have to pay. And they have to stay for the whole night. And like, so first of all, you're like new, you're trying new material, and you have to bring a friend who's probably seen you before. Then I have this like, I feel the need to like buy them pints or something to be like, thank you. So they're buying them pints. I'm nervous. When I'm like nervous, I don't want to talk to anyone. So I'm like so bored, like can't even like, they're chatting to me and I'm like, meh. So I only did a couple of them and I was like, that's not worth it. Like there's nothing worth bringing someone.
It's horrendous.
So yeah.
But that's they're the roads that you have to do.
Yeah, you do.
Because when you get the big gig, or when you get the nice paid gig, or you get to go to the big festival with the nice hotel, and you sit down, and you go, oh, this is a result of the shit that I've had to go through.
And then you can bring someone, like I did that with one of the festivals and brought someone to a hotel, and they're like, this is cool. I was like, this is what a bringer should be.
Bring them to your hotel that you're getting for free, and then go, oh, by the way, it's 100 quid. And then try and make a bit of money off them, like, you know what I mean? So you're doing the gigs over there, right? And then you're in London, and then you're kind of like on the circuit for a couple of years.
Yeah. I think
and you're working full time as well in the fashion.
So I worked full time
because you're very fashionable. You're obviously very into fashion.
I'm very into fashion.
And you have a page where you do your fashion as well, don't you?
Yeah, I changed over and made a new page just for clothes because I was like, God, I just do love clothes. So I wanted to show that because I feel like with comedy, like sometimes I like being comfy as well and not showing my style. So
do you know I once got invited to London Fashion Week?
Did you?
And I went and I stood on a catwalk. I sat on the front row of a catwalk, and I met the guy. What's that? English model guy that does Calvin Klein, the really posh guy. He does the vitamins now. Google producer Sean. If you can Google good looking Englishman.
Guy
David. Oh, what's his name?
Brown hair.
Yeah, what's his name?
Striking David.
He's an English model guy. Fucking.
I know who you're talking about.
Calvin
He's very
Klein.
Handsome.
Does vitamins as well.
Does vitamins? He does vitamins.
David Candy. What's his name?
David Gandhi.
David Gandhi.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say Gandhi.
He's a model, right? not Gandhi. It's David Gandhi, the model, right? But anyway, I go to London Fashion Week. Oh my God. I turned up thinking, I was going with my mate who was doing photography, and I swear to God, I sat in the front row and I've never felt so out of place in my entire life. I was sat there going, there was people next to me, they had fucking cats in a bag.
Oh my God, stunning.
And they had like, everything was just like, everyone was pouting, and like the models would be going up and down in a fucking plastic bag or whatever the hell it was designed. Like I was just remember like that, and everyone was like going, great texture, darling, beautiful shoulders, and I was just sitting there going like, it's just someone fucking walking up and down, like
it's all bullshit.
It was such bullshit. But I met that David Gandhi guy. He was gorgeous fella. I mean, I looked at him and I went, I appreciate that.
Yeah. You just know.
So when you worked in the fashion world, what's that like to work in? Because I imagine the fashion world in England is intense.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was like online, kind of like whatever. What is e-commerce? So it was like not super like high end fashion, but it was still like there was shoots going on all the time. It was. Then I slowly moved into being in front of the camera for them because I think they were like, she's loud and likes attention.
So you started doing a bit of presenting for them?
Yeah, so I kind of slowly moved into doing content creating for them.
Right, okay. That's kind of good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because you do a bit of presenting as well, don't you? Like,
yeah. You have to do everything. Jesus, pay the bills.
Jeez, and I mean
everything.
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 There isn't anything you can't do. But that's mad. So you've obviously done your festivals and bits and business. Now you're coming to Belfast on February the 22nd. No. Explain to me what happened to you and what the show's about, because this is a
it's a story. When you do hours, do you tell a story or just
not
do
really?
bits?
I'm not one of the. Well, I tell maybe 5 or 6 stories, but I try to link them in.
You try and link them, yeah. You try to find a meaning somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Everyone's different.
Oh, for sure. That's why I was interested in it, because this was my first hour.
It's your first proper hour?
Yeah, my first hour when I was writing it for Edinburgh. So
you did this at Edinburgh?
I did this at Edinburgh, and I did it at the Dublin Fringe as well.
And the Dublin Fringe. I know you've gone a few dates around Ireland.
A few dates around Ireland and London. I'm on an Irish and London tour. You can't say UK.
I'm on where the cheapest Ryanair flight can get me from one destination.
Yeah, free couch to sleep on.
Free couch to sleep on. So you're on your so you did this show. Now so you're on the circuit in London, you're working, you're writing, you're doing all this, you're doing fashion. Yeah. You're in London.
I'm in London.
You're living the London life. Are you enjoying it?
Am I? Yeah.
Are you back on a dating scene? Are you meeting fellas or girls
dating
or whatever?
In London was hard, but I think I also went through a stage of thinking I wanted to be with a comic.
Never do that, Anna.
I do not want to be with a comic. I want to be a comic. I do not want to be with a comic.
Can I just say?
At least I learned that.
Can I just say, in my whole comedy career, I've never once kissed anyone in the industry.
Oh God, and don't do it. Honestly,
not once.
It's not worth it.
Not even Aaron Butler. Not once.
That's a lie.
What do you mean it's a lie? Producer Sean, you're not in this episode, mate. It's Southerners today, mate. It's Southerners. Anyway, I've never once done that.
Good, that's good.
Don't get involved. It's too toxic. It's too toxic. Anyway, so did you date comics?
I did, briefly.
I won't ask you who they are.
Briefly, but I just had this idea because when you're so busy, and then
you're hanging out with them a lot.
Trying to date, but you have one evening out of 2 weeks, and I'm like, God, I'd love to spend that evening on my own, just eating a takeaway, rather than going on a date. But I should be out there because I'm lonely. So I was like, maybe if I was dating a comic, we'd be going to gigs and writing stuff together.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. That is the worst thing you could do.
I love making up these
if you're a comic,
false lies in my head, and I was like, that just didn't happen can't happen. The best way
to date someone, if you're a comedian, this is what I want, right? I want someone that works 9 to 5, so they're out of the house when I'm off, and then when they come home, I leave to go to work. And then you go, what do you want?
So you want a roommate?
Basically what this is, what do you want in a relationship? I want to be left alone.
Yeah, I don't want to see
I want to be with you, but not with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to be
some support from afar.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, you're in London, you're dating a few comics, you're doing a scene.
Yeah.
This is 2018.
This is 2018 to 2020.
So then the shit hits the fan.
Shit hits the fan.
What happens?
Obviously, we were all there.
What happens for you? I was there as well.
You were all, shit hit.
So you're working in customer service.
No, I wasn't. I was doing I was working 3 days a week, content creating for this company at that time. So
and then you do comedy on your side.
And then I was doing comedy, acting, presenting, whatever.
And you in a house share?
I'm in just sharing a flat with one person.
And how was that?
Great, loved her. We went to drama school in Dublin together.
So you knew her, safe.
Irish gal.
Lovely. Safe with the Irish.
Safe with the Irish. For
you know their behaviours, you know their traits.
Yeah.
Trust them.
Yeah.
He's pissed. It's grand.
Yeah.
Pandemic
hits, right? So I was so flat out. Do you know when you're just I know everyone thought 2020 was going to be their year, but I was supporting some cool people, cool gigs abroad, Europe, festivals and all. I was like, this is going to be a great year. Oh my God. And a friend of mine was she had gone and done an ayahuasca ceremony in Spain.
A what?
Ayahuasca. Do you know ayahuasca?
No.
You know ayahuasca? Ayahuasca is a medicine from the rainforest in Peru.
It's a drug?
It's a drug, yeah.
Oh, right.
But we call it medicine because it's meant to help you.
So she took a drug in Spain?
She took
medicine in Spain?
Yeah.
She took the medicine?
So you go on these retreats where there's a shaman that guides you over these trips over four days, and you eat vegan food and you do yoga, and you in the evening you go on an 8-hour trip guided by a shaman.
Oh, is this like a walking trip?
No.
Oh, it's a medicine trip?
A medicine trip, yeah. Hallucinogenics.
Hallucinogenic. Oh!
Have you ever done hallucinogenics?
I barely do fucking food.
You can't have too much sugar?
No, I do not do I don't. I can't even spell it.
No, I can't even say it.
Right, so you go to Spain for this.
No, I don't. So
your friend,
done it. She's done it before, and she was like, I think you should do it. I'm bringing the shaman to Ireland, and I'm going to organise a retreat myself, and I think you should do it. And I was like, I'm flat out busy. I don't have, and it's kind of expensive. I was like, I just can't. And she was like, no, I think you'd really benefit from it. I'm going to buy it for you for your birthday, because I was 30 that year. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I guess I can fly home on the 12th of March 2020 and do this.
No, I don't see any issue with that.
No, yeah, and then I'll come back and do the Paddy's Day gigs, because it was that weekend after, it was full out, and when you're Irish in London. You're an old paddy psychic. So I was like, okay, that's grand. So I'll go home and try and like find myself in County Meath for a few days. As anyone found themselves.
No one has ever found themselves in County Meath, in the Midlands of Ireland. But I think people go there to lose themselves.
Yeah. To lose one of themselves. So that's kind of what happened, I guess. And part of this experience is you go and you turn off your phone for the 4 days to give yourself, fully immerse yourself in Mother Nature and all these things. And I was like, I want to fully like go for this and really like. Then I turned off my phone. Yeah, over 4 days, tripped, hallucinated, met some people in my trips, came back, just being like, this is it. I understand life a bit better. I understand why we're here, the purpose, the meaning, everything. Like, I'm so ready for this year. I'm really gonna tackle it. And I actually was dating a guy in Dublin at the time, so we were kind of doing long distance for a couple of months, but we have known each other since we were 15 and dated previously. So I was also thinking, have you ever dated someone previously and then gone back and dated them again?
No.
Oh, good.
Never
Don't
ends
do
well
that
enough.
either. You don't date comics and you haven't gone back, because in my head I have, again, I picture this thing where I was like, it was meant to be. Like, when we were younger, we didn't work things out, and now we're meant to be. So
now we're older and more mature.
Yes, like we worked through shit. Like, I know I've worked through shit anyway. And so he collected me from the retreat on the 17th of March 2020, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be the best year ever. And that was the day that London shut down. Boris shut down London, Leo shut down Dublin, and I was like, oh my God, maybe I should ring my dad and be like, because I don't know, my dad is like Google, I ask him everything. I'm like, should I go back to London on my flight tomorrow, or should I stay here for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And just
like 3 week lockdown, like
3 weeks I get to spend with my fella. Oh my God, it's going to be so nice. And we all need a break, don't we?
Yeah.
We all need a little break. I don't have to do any gigs. Like, I was like looking forward to it. And when I was on the phone to my dad, my mum had a brain seizure in front of him on the phone, and I thought it was COVID. On Paddy's Day. And I was like, oh my God, my mum has COVID, because my dad was like, I have to go, and I have to go. And then he rang me back again, and they found out it was a brain tumour. Jesus. And I was like, oh shit, right. So I was like, I better go home. And this, when I was with my boyfriend at the time, he was with me. I was obviously incredibly upset. So he drove me home to be with my dad, and we couldn't go into my mum, so he drove me home to be with my dad. Came to the door, shook my dad's hand, and then that boy never answered the phone to me again, ever. I haven't spoken to him since.
There's a lot to go through.
Ghosted. And I've turned it into a comedy. Somehow.
Okay,
no, I have,
we need to go. You've had a lot of trauma there. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the field.
The field, okay.
So you arrive. Was it a good experience?
Yeah, well, I love that shit.
Tell me, what does hallucination entail?
Spiritual and into
explain
like all
to
this
me,
stuff.
What does the hallucinating do? Like, what's that like? What do you do like?
It is, okay, so you're meant to go down, look, with intentions, like what you want to get out of the trip, and various people obviously see other stuff. You're meant to work through what you're meant to do. So I only seen loads of naked people dancing in my trips. And I don't really know what Mother Nature's trying to do there, but it was really beautiful. I went down and I wrote down, I want to get more self-love. And then I was really worried that by saying I want more self-love, like how embarrassing for an Irish person to say that. And we might have to read these aloud like we're in primary school or something. Oh, yeah. So I put more love for other people as well. And I think because I wrote that, they were like, okay, you're just going to see loads of naked people in your trips.
So how do you have a trip?
How do you have a trip? Oh, you go up and you drink the medicine from the shaman, and he gives you a little bit, and then you lie back down on your yoga mat, and then you
lie there for 8 hours.
You slowly start to visualize stuff, yeah.
And 8 hours later, you wake up.
Well, like, you know, like I loved watching people, and you're meant to be like in your own trip. You're meant to be like experiencing, because people are like going through stuff, like it's mental. People are like puking and all because you're purging. I love when people don't know.
Is this legal?
No, it's not legal.
What the fuck is this?
Well, it's legal in Peru. In Ireland, it's a bit of grey area, but it was lovely.
It's legal in Peru, but it's a bit grey.
It was a lovely green area.
How do you feel about getting sick of the feeling meat? Oh, that's a bit of a grey area now.
Yeah.
Like that'd be a bit of a grey area for us. Now, if you went to Peru, you could get sick of the feeling mead in Peru.
Yeah, and it'd be lovely and colourful.
But you can't in Meath because that'd be a bit of a grey area. If the government can't tax you, that'd be a bit of a grey area. Like, so you feel all the better for this magical medicine you took.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Okay, so your boyfriend picks you up.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy, decent fella at the time.
At the time, yeah.
You're like me and you. When you got back into the car, did you behave in any way different?
No.
That he saw a red flag because of your new medicine that you took?
No. No, I don't think it was that at all. I think it was like...
Was he into the stuff that you're into?
No, he's into stuff that lots of other exes are into.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Oh, my apologies. Yeah. Sorry. You can see I don't talk to women that much.
I obviously have a type, right?
You have a type, yeah. Fucking weapons.
I know.
Lunatics. So, your mum has this terrible brain seizure.
Mm-hmm.
He drops you to the door. We'll deal with the mum in a second, right? He drops you to the door, shakes your dad's hand, and he disappears.
Yeah.
Explain to me what happens.
Well,
and I mean physically gets into a car.
Because it was like lockdown, right? Well, like obviously he went back and then it was lockdown. So we're in Dublin. We were told we're not allowed to leave 2 kilometres of your gaff. Otherwise, I would have drove and knocked his fucking door down. Because like if someone's not answering me for a week or 2 and I've been with them, it's not just like a social media ghosting, right? You like chat to someone on a dating app.
Yeah, I mean, I've ghosted people. Like.
Yeah, of course. Because if you haven't met them, you don't. Like, it's too hard these days to owe something to them. But when you know someone, I was like, oh, yeah, I would have gone down. But if I had gone to his house, his roommates would have thought I was like trying to kill them all because it was COVID.
So complete silence. Blocked you? Did he block you?
No.
Did you message him?
Silence, messaging, calling.
And no answer. To this day, still nothing.
Still nothing.
What's his name? I'm going to fucking find.
We have mutual friends. So
What's his name? I'm finding him here. Type his name in there.
I can't. No, I can't.
I'll fucking find this fella.
I'm not. Because the thing is, like, I say about this like story that I'm telling, and even stand up, I'll only ever tell my own experience. I don't really shit talk people. Do you know what I mean?
So your mum has a seizure on this day that you're coming back from. So you go away, take medicine in a field in Meath.
Yeah.
You come back.
Sounds great.
Your boyfriend is having an issue with you that you're unaware about. Your mum.
I never thought of it like that. But sure.
He's obviously been like, where's Anna this weekend?
This crazy bitch.
She's in a field in Meath finding herself. I don't think she's the girl for you.
Yeah, his mum was like, nah,
yeah. What's she going to do now?
I have a sense.
Imagine what she's going to be like when she has kids. Where are the kids? They're in a field in Meath.
Oh, for sure. When I have kids, we're all in a field in Meath.
Right. I've got a feeling Glastonbury is for you.
Glastonbury is, that's just a normal day.
So you go home, your mum has a seizure.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's very ill.
Yeah.
So talk me through what's going on.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, that was mental because we weren't allowed in the hospital and she was going to have brain surgery. And I don't know as well, like when you ever see like I don't know, men in your family, maybe it's the difference between men and women, but like my dad's quite strong, my brother's quite strong, just like be kind of very vulnerable and weak because they thought like my mum was going to pass away. Then I was like, believed them because I was like, oh shit, they think she's going to go. But then her surgery got postponed because of COVID. So then she had to come back and we're all just like, like also, I had a flat in London, right? So I had a flat in London with all my things. I wasn't meant to be home and I decided to stay.
Chaos,
then my brother came home. Like, he doesn't live home. Like we're all in their 30s as a family living back at home it's COVID, while your mum has a brain tumor and she's trying to get some peace and quiet. I'm absolutely howling the house down because I'm so heartbroken. My brother's doing sales every morning like, hello, Brenna's there. He's like talking to people in other countries. And I say, she was like, get out of my house. She's about wrecking my head. I have to like prepare for like this major operation in a few months.
So the world comes to a stop. Your mum has a brain seizure and has a brain tumour. Your boyfriend has ghosted you.
Yeah.
You've been in a field in Meath.
Yeah.
Your brother, you're all back at home. Your parents didn't sign up to this.
Oh, God.
They've got to deal with your mum's health. Now, not only do you have to deal with your mum's health, you have to deal with a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Got to deal with your brother's job. You're not sure what's going on with you.
I was there. They're probably most worried about me, to be honest.
It's a shit show, like.
Yeah.
How is your mum?
She's doing really well. Yeah.
She had the operation.
She had the operation. Like, honestly, it is actually incredible. Like what the neuro department in Beaumont can do. Like, it is honestly incredible.
I guarantee you, to go, your mum didn't have an operation or a tumour. No, we didn't. We just took her to a field in Meath.
Yeah. No. Well, that's what I was saying. I went to Meath to try and get my head fixed. Didn't work. But in Beaumont, they can cut your head open and actually put it back together and do some. Don't go to a shaman. Go to a doctor.
So all this time, amazingly, before the pandemic, all that was happening and building up, this is what your show is about.
Well, yeah, I guess, like, I didn't, obviously people go, did you go to that retreat just to get a show out of it? I was like, no, like, I genuinely am broken and need to be fixed. But if you get a show out of it, you get a show of it. I started off writing for Edinburgh about, I was like, oh, I got ghosted. Like, that's quite, like, kind of funny sometimes because, like, the kind of where your mind can go and how crazy it kind of makes you when someone doesn't reply. I was like, I'll start off with that and, like, that's quite relatable. And I was like, oh, but you got ghosted after they found out you thought your mum was going to die and he's never even asked you if your mum's dead. And then I was like, oh, yeah, and that was after you turned your phone off. And so I was like, oh, I have to kind of tell the whole story.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of. And
have you got mutual friends with him?
Yeah.
And
like
have you spoken to them?
Kind of grew up together. Yeah.
And what's the feedback?
They were like, but some of them were like, we've talked to him like and stuff, and then he was like, yeah, it wasn't a big deal. And someone met him at a wedding, and he was like, oh, well, I've been meaning to get back to her. I've been meaning to get back to her.
Let me tell you something. Ladies.
I find it so funny.
I've been meaning to get back to her 3 years. Do you know what?
You're like, don't you ever like read a message and then I sometimes like put it on unread because I'm like, I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
That's probably still sitting
3 years
there,
later,
like,
he's sitting there going, I've got something to do today. 3 years later, I'm pretty sure. Can I just tell you something, ladies? And I mean this from a man's point of view. If a bloke wants you in his life,
no, don't say this. You're going to hurt me now.
No, I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not about that. No. Anna, I think you've been true enough now. If a bloke wants you, he won't ghost you. He's obviously ghosted you because he didn't want to be in the relationship, which is fine. I've been ghosted. I've been a victim of ghosting. I've been a victim of cheating. Right? But I didn't have to go to a field in Meath.
Have you ever been to a field in Meath though?
No, and I've no plans on going to a field. No, but I would say to you is that like, you know, men can do these things and they are a bit shit. And they are a bit shit. But you know what? You know, so you've written the show based on those experiences, which is brilliant. Did you go back to London when life reopened? What happened since? Have you got a new fella now? Have you got a new fella now?
God,
You've no fella.
That's another Edinburgh
and
show.
There's a book here. Does anyone get the feeling there's a book? There's a book here. There's an audio book.
There is.
I wake up in the field and Meath.
That is another...
Right, so tell me you come out of the pandemic. What happens?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that was miserable, wasn't it? Oh, God, I was trying to do social distance dating. Like, I did lose my mind for the first 3 months.
Social distance dating.
Absolutely lost my mind in the first lockdown with everything going on. So when it was like the summer and my mum was still kind of waiting her surgery, and I remember stuff opened back up, my parents were kind of like, yeah, go.
Fuck off.
They were like, you need some kind of interaction. Like, did you ever do social distancing? No. Yeah. It's awful, isn't it?
Well, not social distancing dating. No. I've done social distancing when the pandemic was on.
No, dating.
Not dating. No.
Oh God, it was grim.
I'll be honest with you. Like even my ex-girlfriends would say I was very distant anyway.
Yeah. So just
in relationships.
and not very social.
Yeah, not very social and distant.
And distance dating.
Yeah. So go on.
A bit different. Yeah. So I was like trying to meet people on beaches in Dublin. We have to piss behind the dunes, like, and have a drink.
Meeting people on beaches in Dublin.
That's what we were doing.
You
like, I know
spaces.
nobody remembers. Like, we kind of block it all out. I think.
Where are you meeting them on Tinder? Is it or something?
Yeah, on the apps. I'm not meeting them in the wild when it's the pandemic.
Right. So, and none of these fellas were for you.
I did. I got with someone and we lived together for 1.5 years and then we're not together anymore.
Okay.
That's the long and short of it.
And when did you break up with him then?
On our first date, though, this is quite interesting. On our first date, he was like, I've just had a hard year because my mum had brain surgery.
And you were like, we got something in common.
And I was like, we're soulmates. We're not soulmates.
And then he turned around and she goes, oh, did I ever tell you 6 months ago I went to Meath? And you were like, oh, were you in a field? Yeah. Did you take the medicine?
I think our phones listen to us. They're like, these two sad fuckers need to meet.
So you lived with him for 1.5 years?
Yeah.
So
during the lockdowns.
During the lockdown, and then obviously that didn't work in Dublin.
In Dublin, yeah.
And at no point does ever going back to London enter your head?
Oh, yeah. Because like I've been flying back to London for work like once or twice a month now since everything reopened. And my friends are like, would you not move back? But I don't know, kind of like I hated Dublin for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And now I kind of like it. And if I can get work and I kind of, like people ask me where I am, I'm like, where are you? And I'm like, who's asking? Like, who's asking, who's paying? I'll be there in 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I have places to stay in both cities, luckily.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm exactly.
Technically, actually, if anyone's watching this from the UK, I live in London.
I live
Hire
in England as well. I live in England.
Really well paid jobs because actually the money in the UK is better than Ireland for everything.
Yes.
Sadly.
It is better than Ireland, yes. But, you know, it's kind of one of those really where like we're very lucky to have two countries that our industries are both good in each country.
Yeah.
Very close together.
No, that's the thing. I like, because since I've been back in Dublin, like you get to know people quicker. I'm getting more work. I'm just enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay, so you're back. You live in a home still.
Fuck's sake, I'm back at home. Like every time I leave my mum and dad's house, I'm like, see ya. This is the last time. You know, change my room into something else. I'll never be back. And then like fast forward a year
later,
later,
how do you feel
I'm
about?
back
Is
again.
your brother still there?
God no, that would be awful.
So it's just you.
Just me.
And are you the oldest?
No, I'm the youngest. There's only two of us. I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest, right? And how you get on with your parents?
Grand now, actually. Do you know, because I am an adult. And I think they know that now, finally.
Pay a bit of rent, like.
Yeah, and like I'm never in the gaff, to be fair. If they have a week because of the amount of work I do, if I'm ever in the gaff for like 3 days straight or something for some reason, then I'm like, oh shit.
You can get under your feet. Like
I need to get out of these people.
these are the people that raised you.
You do see, like, once you get older and you're living with your folks, you see the flaws massively.
In their marriage
in
or in life?
In just life, you know. You're like, oh Jesus, you're a human.
Well, I don't.
And I don't want you to be a human. I want you to be my mum and dad.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any parents, so I can't see it.
You can't see it. No. You need to go to a field in Meath, and then you'll see it.
No, I'll go to a field. I'll go to a field in Westmeath.
Yeah, and you'll see it all.
Fair play. Go to a field in Westmeath would be even more mental. So, the show is about all of this sort of stuff that you're doing in Belfast on the 22nd of February, right? Has your family seen the show?
Yeah. My mum and dad came to Edinburgh and seen it.
What did they think of it?
And they came, do you know when you have like in Edinburgh this year as well? I was like selling out at the weekends, and then obviously like midweek would be like a half room kind of thing.
They always come on the shit night, don't they?
Yeah, they came on like a Tuesday. Well, I was like, honestly, the weekends have been like and it was kind of funny because my mum just laughed. Bless her, she just laughs at everything, to be fair. So she was just at the back.
Oh, Anna, you're doing great, Anna. You're doing great.
Yeah. She's like, well done, honey. I'm like, okay. And they actually very impressed. Very impressed. They liked it.
But and did your brother give you any shit for it?
My brother came to Edinburgh as well, and he was really enjoying it. Because it's quite funny when you hear your family in an audience, because they're kind of laughing at like bits that like, you know, you kind of have the bits where most people laugh, right? And they're laughing in between shit because they're like, it's resonating more, I guess.
When my family come to my shows, oh my God, the apathy.
Yeah.
But well, did you enjoy it? Yeah, it was great. Or it's like, why'd you wear that shirt? You know, like they never like, or they look at you and they go, how much do you get paid for that?
Yeah,
you know, like, that's what they'll ask
my
you. My
friends came in the Dublin Fringe, and I sold out the Dublin Fringe, and my friend was like, my friend who brought me on the trip, she came, and afterwards she was like, that was so good, and she was like, who are all the other people in the room? As if I would be friends. Like, all my friends should be there selling it out. I was like, they're just people that I don't know that came to see me.
That follow me or like me or took a chance on me.
Yeah, she's like, whoa, well done.
How much did you make? Not a lot, because a lot of people take a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, my uncle every year, he's like, so how are you doing now? And I'm like, grand, not where I'd like to be, but not like enough to stop.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's how I keep going.
That's brilliant. So this show, so if you're in Belfast on the 22nd of February,
please come.
What time does the show start? Which venue?
Fuck. Limelight. I think it's 7:30
start. 7:30. Go down to
and
fuck.
I have Claire Carrigan supporting me as well.
Go down to fuck.
Come on to fuck.
Come on to fuck. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about your relationship with the North. Ulster.
Yeah.
This is in Northern Ireland. The mad fuckers up there.
Yeah.
What are you going up there for?
Podcasts.
Be careful when you go up there. Be careful when you go up there. They're a bit weird. When you were growing up, what was your overall feeling of the North? When you were like, is it something you didn't really give a shit about? You just heard it on the news the odd time. Were you actually interested? What did you learn about in school? How do you feel when you come up here? Thoughts, feelings, reactions?
Yeah, I guess maybe it's like, what did I know? Growing up, like I used to come up here with the girl guides to like Coleraine and like and Derry and stuff. Be with the. So I was going up then, and I'm just having good crack with being a young girl guide, I guess. So I was up there a couple of times, and I guess maybe my mum and dad would say stuff about the North and be like, oh, it's, you know, the troubles, and it's this kind of, my dad would sometimes say, so you can sense when you go up there like what they've all been through and stuff.
Oh yeah, every time I look at producer Sean's face, I see a lot of things that have gone through. Yeah, I know, he's just sitting there like the post-traumatic stress disorder on his face, going to bed at night just dreaming of 32 things. I don't want 26, I want 32.
And I think when my dad came up to do Christmas shop in Belfast, and he said like, oh yeah, you can still kind of tell. And I was like oblivious to it. I was like, this place is great. Like, I just could tell when he got into Belfast that it did remind me of maybe being over in England more so.
It reminds me more of the UK.
Yeah, so like, and I would go to England a lot because my mom's from there. So I'd be like, oh, kind of like, it's so funny. Once you cross over, you can see then.
Well, you can see the difference in the banks.
Yeah. Like road signs and banks and telephone boxes and that.
Yeah, like Santander Bank. You're like, there's no Santander down south.
Yeah, but like also lovely, like, because I love coming up here, even when you're like, oh, it's a bit of a trek. I was like, I'm going to go to a big Tesco's and see what kind of other stuff they have. I'm going to go to a Greg's. I'm going to go, like, I get my fix in. Like,
you go to Banbridge Shopping Centre on the way, get your retail outlet stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been here 2.5 years now, living here.
Oh, yeah.
And I moved here because of the pandemic and stuff. And it's a shit show. I had a very similar shit show. Like, my mum passed away just before the pandemic. And then I was back in Cork for a year. And the pandemic, and then lost my job. Then I started stacking shelves in B&Q, and
Oh wow, yeah.
like, then I moved back to London.
Emotional.
I moved back to London for 4 months.
Yeah.
Then I realised I missed Belfast.
Yeah.
And completely fell in love with the north of Ireland, thinking I would fucking hate it.
Interesting.
So
Should I move here?
before I even came here, I was like, I'm not going to live in Belfast.
Yeah.
I live in
And
fucking...
how come you did choose here? You just was like, I need a change.
I
That's
bought
like
a
me
house as I was kind of dating someone as well, and that didn't work out. But and it was kind of a bit of a...
Did you get to
a
keep
bit
the
of,
gaff?
Oh, it's my house, yeah.
Oh, nice.
It was a bit of a...
Don't have a house.
I think it was a bit of an emotional decision on a reaction after my mum passing.
for
So
sure.
anyway, long story short, bit like you know, you come up and you go, oh, I'm going up the north. Oh, it's a bit different, but it's quite quirky, and you have a bit of a laugh and a joke. I never thought I would like it because I was, you know, a bit like, oh, the north, fucking a bit mad bastards, like, you know, from what you hear. And then when I moved over, I was like, no, this is different. It's quite cool. And then moved back to London because I was always a bit like, no, I'm fucking big city boy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a comedian in a big city. I need to be in the heartbeat of comedy. I need to be with all the best of the best, and I need to be challenging myself, and I need to be with a big agent. And yeah, I know I'm spending money, but you know what? This is where dreams are made and all this kind of stuff. No, dreams are made in fucking Belfast, mate.
Oh wow! Oh my god, you're really selling it to me. I'll be moving up here next.
I am telling you.
Starting a podcast.
I go to London twice a month.
Yeah.
And I do 7-8 shows a
very
month.
cheap to fly from Belfast to
God. Flybe have gone bust. Rest in peace, Flybe. Great staff. Big up to them, even though I've lost money, but it doesn't matter. But the thing about it is, is that I would never have pictured myself to be here.
Yeah.
And one thing you'll
That's
notice
good.
when you've performed up here, how do you find the differences between the north crowd and the south crowd? You haven't performed.
I'm
What?
terrified. No, not terrified.
You've not done a gig here yet?
No.
You've never performed in Belfast, but you're putting on a fucking one person
There's
show.
These two girls on my Instagram are like, there's like these. I have a nice, humble, lovely following, but like, actually, there's always one guy from Cork and two girls from Belfast. Every time I put up a gig, they're like, come to Belfast, come to Cork, and I haven't gigged in either. And
Okay.
I'm kind of scared of both places because I think they hate Dublin people.
Okay, and I'm going to give you a bit of advice.
Do they?
I'm gonna give you a bit of advice.
Yeah.
Don't ever put a show on in a city that somebody on Instagram asks you to put a show on, because they might be the only ones turning up. This could be a
for
trap.
sure,
This
for
could be a trap. You
Listen.
can turn up to that gig and it's just that person on Instagram just bought all the tickets.
I know, and they're like so happy to see you.
Yeah.
For
No,
sure.
or the case is always like, oh, come to Belfast, and then you come, and then like you're like, all right, I'll see you down the show, and they're like, mending the neighbour's dog.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that happens when you know when you like. I never listen to my friends anymore. They're like, "Yeah, I can't wait." You're like, "You're not coming."
I never invite people to my shows. Never invite
Yeah.
any friends or family to your shows. If they say like, "Oh, you're performing in Dublin tomorrow," I goes, "Yeah." "Oh, I might come along." Tickets on the website. I just got tickets on the website.
Yeah.
It's not my responsibility to convince you. It's up to you if
My
you want to
thing
come around.
is-
And if you do come, you pay. Because I'm not putting you on the fucking door, because then you're looking for a freebie.
Yeah.
You can fuck off, right? You're not getting anything for free off me, right? You had plenty of opportunities to come and see me when I was starting out. You weren't interested. Now you're like, oh, he's selling a few tickets. Now we'll go and see it. No. Where were you on the journey?
Yeah. Every step of the way.
Where were you? You didn't back me then. You don't back me now. Sorry. I'm just getting very aggressive
getting
there.
emotional.
I'm getting very emotional today. So you've never performed in Belfast and Cork. What about Cork? Because you know I'm from
I know.
the greatest
I
county
know.
in
I'm
Ireland.
trying to book a.
The greatest county in Ireland. You've been to Cork, though.
Yeah, of course. Love
You ever
Cork.
dated any Cork fellas?
Have I ever dated any Cork fellas?
They're great crack.
Yeah, they are great.
Well,
No, I don't think I've long term. I don't think. I think I've
Yeah.
definitely mooched one or
How's it
two.
going there, Anna? How are things? How are you getting on there from Dublin? Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking fair play to you.
Oh
Fair
my
play
God,
to you.
yeah,
Where are you from Holt? You got money sold, yeah? Because you're from Holt.
Absolutely not.
Which is posh.
It's posh.
I've never been
No, it's a nice mix.
Bono's
it's
there,
a
isn't
nice.
he?
No,
Gay Byrne was there.
the Edge is there.
The Edge.
Bono's in Dalkey. Gay Byrne used to live there. Is it? I feel like Hote's a nice mix of like incredibly rich people and then just like
Scum.
scum as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit-
People like me.
Yeah, for sure.
And is it one of those, is it a latte village?
A latte.
Like, is it one of those like latte villages? You know, when you go down and goes, we go for a coffee, darling. And it's like, let's have a coffee and a chat while the husband or the wives are at work and we're in a loveless marriage.
There is a
We
bit
can't
of like
afford to sell the house.
yummy
because
mummies. Like
yeah,
my dad was saying, people, the yummy mummies in the car, in the like, big cars. But
in their leggings.
yeah, but
And
I do.
no one's going to the fucking gym.
No,
Because
no.
if you were.
No, you would never wear leggings to the gym anyway. Leggings are for getting like takeaways and stuff.
Are they?
Yeah.
But I see people on my Instagram, I see people in the gym with the leggings on.
Oh yeah, yours are full. Well, that's what I wear my leggings for. To walk down to the chipper. It's a mix. There's latte people and, you know,
I must go to Hull. It's
keep
the north
cup
side
people.
of Dublin.
Like,
man.
it's a nice, it
a bit
is
of
a
a-
nice balance.
It's a bit of a trek out of the city, though, isn't it?
It is. It's not. Yeah. It kind of feels like the sticks, but it's not. It's like half an hour into the city.
On the Lewis.
Oh no, the Dart. There's no Lewis out there.
Oh, is there no Lewis? It's the
No,
Dart.
or the
So-
bus. I like the Dublin bus myself.
That's what, 40 minutes in? That's a long trip. But see, but when
Oh,
you
it
go
is.
to
Like, I
London,
don't want to be like obviously at
you
home.
sit on a bus for 40 minutes.
Yeah, but you get some work done.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Well, you don't have a choice. Like my car failed the NCT and it got taken off the road. So
You're joking me.
I'm a bit. Yeah, actually, it's been a bit of a bad year.
Okay,
No gaff, no car.
but you're living at home. That's okay.
But I'm living at home.
You're living at home.
Yeah,
You're doing solo shows.
doing solo shows.
You're back dating.
I'm back
You have a
dating.
new fella.
No.
Are you
God,
on the apps?
I'm on the apps.
Right. And how's it going? I get so excited when I hear about people on the apps. Go on, tell
Are you
me.
on the apps?
No, I don't do that
Why don't you do that?
because.
Well, like, what else are you going to do? Like, honestly,
I'm not on any
my friends
apps.
are giving out to me because they're like, I'm like moaning about being lonely, and they're like, well, you're not trying, so you have to.
Are your
put
friends
the-
married?
Have to put. Yeah, God.
None of them are happy.
Oh, thank you.
If you've got
No,
friends,
genuinely, I do know this.
none of
I
your
know.
friends who are married in Dublin are happy, and I don't even know these people, and I know they're unhappy.
Why?
And I'll tell you why they're unhappy. Because no one's fucking ever met anyone who's like going, how's your marriage? Oh, it's so exciting. How is it? We're getting by. It's
yeah.
fucking... It's marriage.
It's tough to live with people.
I think marriage is a really great idea. And I think it works for so many people. But for some
not
people...
any of your friends.
it is horrendous.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah.
people are doing it just to split the bills. They're not doing it for fucking love. They're like,
just
oh,
for,
well,
like-
I won't get anyone better, so I might as well fucking do that. Like...
Well, they just got told. Like, there's these steps that people got told to do, right? It's like,
Fuck
tick
it.
that box, and then the rest of us are off trying to
Anna,
do comedy.
And I'm 40 years of age. I live in East Belfast. I live in a unionist area. I'm from the south. I live on my own. I can't even
You
afford
have
a
your own
gardener.
gaff. That's
My
good.
own house. I have great neighbours. I love my job. And I tell you something, there isn't a fucking ring coming near that fucking hand. And I'm happy. And then when I meet my mates and I go like, oh, do you want to go for a pint this Saturday? I can't. I've got the wife and she's going out to yoga and I have to mind the children. And then I go,
they're-
okay. And then they look at me and they're going to go, you've a great life, dear. I said, you could have had this life, man. But
Yeah,
you
but,
chose,
like, do you have a
you
great
chose
life?
spooning on a Tuesday.
My friends love to be like, oh, I'd love to be single for a day. You know, when they're like,
What are you going to do in a
engaged. And
day?
I'm like,
By the time they download the app, you won't. And by the time you start
yeah,
chatting,
exactly. I'm like, a day. Do you know what I do in a day? I sit at home crying and eating fucking pot noodles. Like, I'm not out there sleeping with
So
everyone.
do you have friends of yours that are like, I wish I was single for this so they could be with someone else for
I
the
think
day?
so. They're like, oh, I'd love to be single for a day.
Give them my number.
And they're like, I love to go on the apps. I'm like, the apps are fucking
Listen,
miserable.
Anna, I'm available for a day.
A day.
Take my number.
And is that on Patreon?
Get them to message me. And if they want to, I'll take them to a field in Meath.
Oh.
Right, well, and I'm available for
You'll
day
help them
rent.
find themselves.
I'm not.
them find
Can I just
themselves.
say to anyone watching this podcast, please do not offer me anything.
Yeah,
I'm not
that is like-
interested. That was just me being a comedian.
That's a tenner on the Patreon.
That you are not getting me. I'm not interested. I'm not even a looker. So relax.
You're not even a looker.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. But my point is that you have friends of yours. That what do your friends whinge to you about? Give me an example. Come on, I want to hear this.
Whinge.
Because I know what women whinge about. I know what men whinge about with their wives. You tell me what.
I guess it's people, partners just always whinge about what the other person's not doing.
Okay, I'll tell you. So I have a mate of mine, and he whinges about his wife.
Yeah.
I'll give you a couple of things what he whinges about.
Okay.
Okay, he's always like, she's always having a go at me. About being a bit untidy around the house, and I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
you did live together
I
for
was
2
gonna say,
years.
that's
You did live together
untidy.
for 2 years before you got married, so she would have seen that.
Yeah.
And if she can't get over that now, well, then that's her problem.
Yeah.
Okay, she can't complain about something you've already seen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's wrong. If you're a bit messy, she married that. Yes, you can be a bit tidier, but at the end of the day, that's who you are. Okay, I'm very tidy, by the way. Secondly, just need to chuck that
So
in.
you would find it really difficult to be with a messy girl? Because it is hard
Oh yeah,
to be with
I find it
people that
difficult
are-
to be with a girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
In
messy or
general.
not. Like, but my point is this. My point is this. He also complains about the lack of intimacy, which is it does happen in relationships. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, he says like just to do anything with myself and the lads, the strategic planning that has to go into it. It's kind of like, look, they have kids, and I understand childcare, and I understand that's really difficult. And it's obviously like, oh, who's going to
You
get
can't
up in
do
the
anything
morning? Who's going to get
spontaneously.
up in the morning? Who's not going to get up? Oh, he had his night out. It seems, he said, like, it seems to have gone from tit for tat. It's kind of like, well, if you get the night out with the girls here, that means I'll give you a lie-in on Sunday, but in 2 weeks' time, you owe me. And it seems to be a marriage then where it's like, you owe me and I owe you and you owe me. And I think that's quite toxic.
I think that gets quite bitter, doesn't it? Like,
So it's mostly about
It's like it becomes like a game or something.
it becomes a game, and I
Yeah.
don't like that. So what are your girlfriends kind of whinging about?
I think it's always messiness is a huge thing, like leaving their shit everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah. Or people going out in the piss. Yeah. People do complain about that. Money, I find people like get a bit like what I find is like if you commit to something and people haven't talked about how they're going to split finances and stuff. I'm like, how have you gone this far? Like,
I'm doing a prenup.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's how well things are going.
I'm a prenup guy. I swear to God.
First of all, you said no one's ever going near
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, but if I did,
But if you are,
but if I was, you would have to sign a prenup. Honest to God, you would have to. I would have to. I would
Yeah.
say I have a friend of mine that got married recently, and she signed a prenup with her husband, and the reason being because he had a separate business before they met.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not interested in his business. I'm not interested in his business. I'm interested in him.
I'm in love.
So she said,
I'm in
I would
love.
happily sign a prenup because I'm not with him for that. So, and I thought, brilliant.
Yeah.
And they're really happy, blah, blah, blah. And they've got another baby on the way. Fantastic, amazing. Love that, love the shit. Hashtag live, laugh, love, right? With me,
Live, laugh, love, babies.
with me, it's like, first of all, people say like, oh, Andrew, you're going to get married. I always go, hold on a second. The other person has to agree to it as well. It's not my decision. It's only 50% my decision.
Yeah.
But if I was to get married, you sign on a prenup.
Yeah.
And do you know what's in the prenup? You're not allowed to have anything to do with me house, me comedy career,
What would
pictures,
they want to be doing with your comedy career? You're like,
money, like
money of it.
bed sheets.
Don't put any jokes about me in there.
I've a bedroom I have a bed in the spare room. That's my bed. I also have another bed. All the furniture and fittings are all mine. And my pension is locked out. What else do you get? You get no access to. You can't take anything to do with golf off me.
That's fine. You can
I
keep
own.
that.
My Tesco club card is mine.
My Tesco
Dunnes
club
Stores
card points.
You're not allowed to know You're not allowed to know anything else.
Passwords to your phone.
The minute we meet and we are together, you can have, and I can have 50% of your assets. So if I was to marry a woman and she was a millionaire and she wanted me to sign a prenup, I'd be like, she earned way more money than me, which I would actually like be into that. I would be into that.
At this stage, I would
I
definitely
love
marry
powerful.
for money.
I'm attracted to really powerful women.
Are you?
I fucking
Because
love.
I think loads of men are not.
I love a woman.
Well, that's what
I
I
love a
think.
woman that's more successful than me.
Yeah.
I love women
cool.
being successful. I love seeing a woman. Like, do you know, if I was to marry someone tomorrow, I know I couldn't marry her now, but Jacinda Ardern, the New Zealand Prime Minister, she's just left office.
Yeah. Oh
I'd
my
marry
God,
her.
and she left.
I'd marry her.
Queen.
Oh, Sanna Marin, the Finland Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And Alicia Keys.
That's your top three.
But yeah, I would sign a prenup and I would make someone sign a prenup. I think that's fair because what it does is it's like it takes away that anxiety of like, oh, if I met someone and my wife decided she hated me and she wanted to leave me, and then she's going, I hate you and I'm leaving you. Oh, by the way, I'm going to take half the stuff or 30% of the stuff or whatever. I'm like, well, but like I have to live as well, like. And I would say, well, if you love me for me, you're not interested in my fixed assets.
Yeah.
How would you feel about
Sounds
that?
like
How would you feel if a man presented you with it?
Sounds very business and transactional.
But people
But
are
the more I
not
get hurt, I
talking
agree.
about this stuff.
Oh, this is the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
I also find like my friend's getting married in a church, but she doesn't believe in any of that stuff. So
Bullshit,
I find that quite
bullshit,
funny. Like,
bullshit.
you're going to get, and you have to have marriage counselling and all by a priest. A man giving you advice on
How to get married.
relationship.
A
that
fella
they've
who's never been on a
fella-
fucking Tinder day in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
get married here, and you have to do the whole marriage course thing and all.
Yeah,
and
the
like-
marriage course and all. Just because you can get nice pictures in a church.
Producer Sean is getting married in May.
And you're doing it.
Producer Sean, put the mic. Is the mic plugged in?
Yeah.
Put that close to you or whatever. It's fine.
can you hear me?
Oh, it's fine. Is have you done a prenup?
No.
Yeah, they can't get a bit of this.
There's no prenup with you and your
Bit of this
missus. Are
No.
business.
you sure about that?
I'm sure.
Is she okay? She's
I love that. See, that's like,
yeah, that's real love. Would you been
Yeah.
together with your girlfriend since you were 6 or something? Haven't you?
A long time. Like
How long have you been with her since?
10 years. He'll be 11 by the time we're married.
Sean's only 19 years old.
wow. That's love.
Oh, it's real love. Oh no, I'm really happy for you, man. I really, really, really hope it works out for
And
you.
see,
man.
that's,
Okay.
that's why like the dating a comedian thing would be a bad idea, because then if they're taking half the stuff, they'll be like, right, half the tour dates. That's mine.
Yeah, but I wrote the show.
I'm getting your show. I'm getting your shows in the stand.
Yeah.
I'm doing Frog and Bucket. Like
I'm taking all that.
They're taking all of it. It's
you
fucking.
can keep Stoke. You can keep.
Yeah. Have you got any friends that have split with her husband?
Oh God, no, I'm not there yet now. One of my single friends is, well, because Howth is like a very small village. He's like, I'm waiting for the first round of divorced men at this stage because everyone's been used up. So
Where's Holt again?
It's Houghts. It's
North Dublin.
North,
I must pop down for a
north
coffee.
side.
there,
Yeah,
no.
you should.
I'm not. I have a
Girlos in their
I
leggings.
actually have a beautiful person in my life. So.
Do you?
Yeah, it's going all right.
That's good.
It's going good. So tell me.
Till she hears about the
no, we're not giving away too much information now because the prenup is with the solicitors at the moment, and I don't want to compromise anything. Secondly, you've got a friend of yours who's kind of given up on men in their 30s. Is it because they're all normally snapped up?
Yeah, they're all gone.
But like, I'm 40, never married, no kids.
Yeah.
I've never been snapped up, and my point is that we are still
snapped up now, aren't you? Not?
Yeah, I'm dating. But my point is that there aren't men like me around. And I'm not saying I'm amazing. I'm just saying that there is men that don't want to commit.
Sift through them.
Go through this shit. But if you meet a guy
Belfast is probably quite small. Once you lived in Dublin and grew up there, you're like, there's someone I went to school with, there's someone I slept with, there's a friend that I slept with, there's my brother,
there's my cousin,
uncle,
there's my cousin.
What's my dad doing on that? Jesus.
There's my cousin. I'll give it a go.
Is that third cousin? Is that?
He's a nice fella. So my point is this: do you feel, because of like, I need to reword this properly, right? So, do you feel that if you met a guy that was say 38, 39, 37, 38, 39, never married, no kids,
Yeah, sounds good.
enjoys his job,
Lovely.
and you met that and you go, why hasn't he been snapped up? What is wrong with him? Or do you
No,
look at it as
I would
like,
hope not, but
or you
like,
look
I mean,
he's a good catch, or say he must be fucked. He must be either A, lying, B,
hopefully,
he must be fucked up. There's no way he could get to 38, be an average looking fella, reasonably do a nice job, do all right for himself, and still be single. He either must be a fucking psychopath, he's come out of prison, what?
Yeah, I know.
Because you think-
that is worrying, isn't it?
See what I
But
mean?
I would hope that person has just been doing some work on themselves, you know?
That's me, guys. That's
Because
me.
like you said, you bought a gaff with someone that you knew wasn't right, and all this shit happens to you, and you hopefully are becoming
I feel
better and better.
I would say I'm in the best place in my life at the moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100%.
That's
Emotionally, mentally, emotionally.
Violently, I thought.
No,
you
I
were
was going
gonna
to
say
say violently there. Visually.
Violently.
Yeah, I'm in an incredibly violent place in my life at the moment. Anna, plug your socials. Tell me where your show's at.
My show is on February 22nd in Limelight, and my social media is Anna Cliff Comedy on all platforms.
Anna has driven up from the Republic of Ireland, which is in Europe,
Yeah.
to outside of the EU.
It was a great car
to
journey.
do a podcast today, to come up here. So if you're in Belfast on the 22nd, please do go down and see Anna at the Limelight. We'll be plugging her shows on the Instagram, on the Cork of the North Instagram followers, which is now up to 16,000 followers as well. So thank you very much to everyone for that. And if you want to sign up to the Patreon, it's £3 a month. For 3 extra episodes, you get some extra benefits as well. Tickets to the live shows and stuff like that. And you are supporting the podcast as well as we are growing and getting bigger all the time. We do appreciate our community here in Cork of the North. We have different guests every week, 3 extra episodes every month on the Patreon. Thank you very much for everyone for liking, sharing and subscribing. A big thank you to Anna Clifford, our wonderful guest today, for coming all the way up from Ballyhotclia in County Dublin. Nice to see you, Anna. Thank you for coming in.
You too, thank you.